Okay, hello everyone, this is ME8U Industrial Trust, second quarter and first half FY24-25 financial results dated 29 October 2024. Right, at first glance, year on year, the second quarter performance looks good. Right, you can see NPI is up 4.6%, driven by higher contributions due to Osaka data center and new leases and renewals. Right, distribution to unit holders is up 1.9%. Right, and this is the metric that we are concerned with, right? DPU, right? DPU is up 1.5%, right? Given the circumstances, I think it's a decent performance, right? This is the point of concern, right? Average overall portfolio occupancy has increased quarter on quarter, right? So this is quarter on quarter performance, from last quarter to this quarter, 91.9% to 92.9%, right? So despite the improvement, right, I'm still concerned that this is below 90%, 95%, sorry. Right, because to me, they've always talked about the fact that US has very strong demand for data centers. But if I show you the breakdown of their occupancy, right, North American portfolio only has an occupancy of 91%, and this is already an improvement from the last quarter, which was 87.8%. Right, so to me, this suggests some kind of demand issue. All right, or either that, or their data centers cannot meet the demands of what is being required currently in North American portfolio, and I'll try to hypothesize why this could be the case. Right, I think that the current demand for data centers is driven a lot by AI, and AI actually requires a data center that can do what something like a graphics cards ability data center. That means to say they can do parallel processing, right? And I suspect the current kind of data centers that MIT has is more like a hard drive type of data center. That means to say that they only have the ability to store and transmit information, whereas the new type of data centers that is in high demand, I think, is actually related to AI. Right, this requires a different type of hardware, and this different type of hardware is probably why the demand for data centers is high, but probably not for the type of data centers that MIT currently has in the US, which explains the 9% vacancy. Right, this is just my suggestion and my hypothesis. Right, Singapore is slightly better at 93.7%, slightly better than the last quarter. Right, so anyway, sorry, yeah, back to the slides. Okay, so yeah, 92.9%, right? I think it's still quite low. Right, and this improvement is due to this lease commencement. Right, and the weighted average rental revision is 10.7% across property segments in Singapore, so it's a good thing. Right, they acquired a freehold property with redevelopment potential in Japan. Right, so I suppose they need money to do this redevelopment. Right, and that's probably why they retain some money from the dividend reinvestment plan. Right, so if you look at DPU, it's flattish, and I think I said that I expected it to be flattish. Right, so you can see that initially it looks like there's a slight uptrend, but after last quarter, which is 3.43, it has come down to 3.37. All right, the improvement is from last year second quarter. Right, so this second quarter, first quarter, fourth, third, yeah, so it's 3.32 to 3.37. Right, that's why here they announce an improvement. Right, it's comparing 3.37 with 3.32. Right, however, if you compare with last quarter, actually it's a dip. Right, so we compare again year on year performance. Right, revenue is up, property expenses is up. Right, this is not good. Right, so the blue one is good, the red one is not good. Right, net property income is good, up. Borrowing cost is up, this is not good. Right, distributions declared by joint ventures is down 15.5%. Right, and this is due to higher borrowing costs from replacements of interest rate hedges. Right, amount for distribution is up 2.2%. Right, and you can see that coming down to this part we are interested in. Right, distribution to unit holders is up 1.9%. Right, here we can have a look at if we were to take out the one-offs. Right, because this one has one-off of 3.35 million from divestment gain. Right, then actually distribution to unit holders will be $92 million. Right, likewise here, if we strip off the one-offs, right, here I calculated, right, it will be $90.9 million. And the difference, the improvement right here will be 1.5% instead of 1.9%. But I think this one is not much difference lah, so I'm not too bothered by this difference, right? Likewise, I estimate that DPU have improved by 1.2, maybe 1.3% rather than 1.5%. Again, not a big deal, so I wouldn't be too bothered by this, right? So we can look at why MPI has improved, right? We already talked about Osaka data center, right? And of course, there are some renewals and new leases, right? You can see again there is non-renewal of leases in North America portfolio, right? The Tanglin hot cluster divestment is expected lah, so I don't think that's something which we need to be concerned about, right? Higher property tax, high marketing costs and property maintenance costs, right? Property tax and maintenance costs, this one is unfortunate, right? But I'm wondering how much marketing they actually need to do, right, if there's so high demand, right? So this is another point of concern that I think suggests that something is wrong somewhere, right? So yeah, borrowing costs because of Osaka data center borrowing, right? That's why borrowing costs increase, right? And partially offset by the fact that they pay off some loans with the Tanglin hot cluster divestment, right? So first half, maybe this is a more good comparison because actually the performance this quarter dropped from the last quarter, right, in terms of DPU, right? And later on we'll see that, right? So if you look at first half, generally is similar. That means it's not bad, right? So gross revenue is up, net property income is up as well, unfortunately, right? MPI is up, right? If we look at even down to DPU is up, right? And in fact, if we strip off the one-offs, right, DPU is actually better by 3.2% rather than 2.8%, right? So actually their performance this time is really not bad. Okay, so yeah, the rest I think are smaller things, so I won't talk about them, right? This quarter on quarter, like I said, quarter on quarter, actually if you look at it carefully, right, the DPU is down, right, 1.7%. All these things we've talked about, yeah. So I don't, yeah, operating expense is a big concern, alright. Yeah, property maintenance and property tax, yeah, we talked about this, so not going too much about it, right? NAV has dropped, okay, not a good thing, right? And if you consider the fact that it's trading around 240, right, the REIT is not exactly cheap now, right? Total debt has dropped, right? We like to see that. Okay, leverage is roughly the same, right? And if you want to include perpetual securities, I think it's something like 42%. Okay, I'm not super worried with these REITs debts because their interest coverage ratio is high, right? If you want to listen to more about that, you can watch my last video, right? I did a separate calculation to include the perpetual securities into the debt, right? So this is the JV loan, right? Still to be refinanced, I believe. Yeah, so you can see adjusted interest coverage ratio very strong. This is the reason why I'm not so worried about this REIT, 4.3%, right? Not too sure if this will increase or not. Hopefully not, due to their access to the Japanese loans that they can take up now. Right. Not going to talk about this. Not going to talk about this. Yeah, not going to talk about this too much. I'll just skip through. Yeah. So we'll look at Singapore's performance, right? Not very good also, right? Below 95% occupancy all the way, right? And you can see that although DPU is increasing, it's sort of flatlining as well. Okay, yeah, you can see it's a mixed bag lah. You can see some performance increase, some decrease, some increase. Then you can see some new lease somehow very low, right? This is possibly due to the fact that sometimes when they lease to new tenants, right, over 3 years, right, the first year they give them discount, right? So hopefully that is the case, but I'm not exactly sure why this is so low as well, right? The rest I think probably not much to say. Yeah, we know about the Osaka data center. They say that Japan there's robust demand, tight supply and limited development opportunity. So hopefully the Japanese portfolio will help them moving forward, right? So they say challenging operating environment, right? operating expenses and elevated borrowing costs, right, they are going to exert pressure on distributions, right? Could lah, right? They say could. Okay. Yeah, again, they always say very high demand, but you can see the North America portfolio is only 91% occupied. Right. So with that, I'm going to end the presentation. Again, none of these investment advice. All right. My take towards MIT currently is that I think short term is probably going to do okay. All right. But longer term, I am a bit concerned about the building of more and more data centers in the US, because currently the supply is limited, so they are trying to build a lot to meet the supply. But one day, if the supply let me rephrase. Currently the demand is there's a lot of demand, so they're trying to build more supply to meet the demand. However, if there's some kind of bust in the AI somehow and they realize they overbuilt, I'm not sure if MIT's US data centers will suffer from this kind of fallout. Right. So now we are on the, I think, upcycle, but I'm not sure when this upcycle will end. Right. So again, this is not investment advice. Okay, please do your due diligence before you make any investments. Right. Thank you for listening.